Beauty Addicts, it's Alex. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my 2017 beauty favorites. I wanted to get this up sooner for you guys, but life happens, and then I just have so many videos that I want to do, and I'm trying to keep up with my Would I Buy It's, and I cannot tell you, I have at least 100 video ideas, and I just feel like I'm so far behind, so I'm trying to get caught up. Especially I want to get anything like 2017 related or 2018 related done by the end of January, so that's like my goal, and to get back on track with my Would I Buy It. So just bear with me. So if you're like, why isn't she filming this video, it's coming. So in this video, I'm going to be strictly talking about beauty products. I'm going to talk about makeup, makeup organizers, things for like brush related brushes, and then some hair care products. If you guys want, I can do a separate 2017 fashion favorites video. It won't have as many products mentioned on there, but I can kind of tell you some of the favorite things that I wore in 2017, to kind of like the types of styles or things that I was into in 2017 as far as fashion goes. So if you guys want to see a video like that, just let me know down in the comments. Okay, so let's just get started with my 2017 beauty favorites. I am going to go in order of how I do my makeup, and then we'll get into all the other stuff that's non-makeup related after that. So the first thing that I'm sure you guys are not shocked by is the Pixi by Petra Makeup Fixing Mist. I used up one of these in 2017. I don't know if I started using the one bottle I had in 2017, but I definitely used it up by the end of 2017 by the time I moved out of one of my apartments. And I absolutely love this mist. I'm so happy that I was able to get another one at the end of this year. So I pretty much have only been using this ever since I got it. And the main thing that I look for whenever I'm looking into getting a makeup fixing mist or any sort of a facial spray is not for longevity, because I honestly have said this before, like, it's really hard to tell. I know some people have told me that they've been able to tell, but I honestly, there's just so many factors. So I really don't feel confident in telling you that, you know, it's going to make your makeup last longer. But what I love about facial sprays is just, you know, the hydration, the smell. It just like it's infused with rose water and green tea. So when you spray it all over your face, it just feels really, really refreshing, and I really enjoy that. And it also hydrates your skin. And, you know, it comes in a pink bottle, which I really like too. That just like makes it even better. And it comes with 80 milliliters, so 2.70 fluid ounces. So this is what it says about it. I never even read the bottle. It says it's a hydrating, antioxidant, pore tightening hydrant, antioxidant, and reduces your pores. So I don't know. I'm in love with this makeup fixing mist. I just feel like it just smells so good. I can't get over the smell. And the spray is pretty good itself, like how it sprays out. When I first bought it, I was actually looking at one of my vlogs from a long time ago. Just I'm curious, like, what was happening when I first started vlogging. And I was actually trying out one of these mists in my vlogs, because I was trying out some of the new makeup that I got. And I will link that particular vlog down below. And I remember, and I saw that I said like, no, the spray was coming out weird. And the same thing happened to me with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus spray. Just like the first several times that I used it, the spray bottle wasn't working. This one I think started working quicker than the other one. The other one I just for the longest time could not get working. And then one day the spray started coming out normally. And that spray ended up coming out way worse. Like, it was bad. So sometimes, like with a spray bottle, sometimes maybe you just have to get a couple of sprays out. But yeah, so I really, really recommend this. I've repurchased this one before, and I definitely will repurchase it again. It does last you a really long time because you do get a good amount of product, but I would definitely highly, highly recommend getting this. And also, whenever I use that product, I put it all over my face before I do my makeup, and then if I don't forget, all over my face after I've done my makeup. But if I'm wearing lashes, I put it all over my face and then I put on my lashes. So, so that's what I do whenever I'm doing my makeup. And the next part of when I do my makeup is I put concealer on my eyelid and on my brow bone. And whenever I do that, I always go in with the e.l.f. HD Lifting Concealer. And this is basically what I use as an eyeshadow base, because it does, you know, help provide, you know, stickiness, enough stickiness. It's not sticky, but you know what I mean. It, you know, provides a nice base to put eyeshadow on top of. And then it also covers up any veins that I have on like my brow bone area. And then I also use it as my concealer underneath my eyes, and I put it right underneath my eyes and then right on my cheeks, because I have a little natural redness right here, and this does a great job at covering it up. I really do love this concealer because I think it does a good job of covering up. I'm not someone who ever experiences creasing with concealers. I've never noticed it crease, but that's not saying much from me since I don't really notice creasing ever with any products I ever use. It's never really a problem for me, just in general. But I think it does a good job of covering up. I really had no problems with this concealer. I do wish that e.l.f. had a little bit lighter version of this shade. I can make this shade work. It's fair. It's the lightest shade that they have. So I wish they would come out with one shade lighter, maybe even 2 shades lighter, because, you know, there are people who have fair skin tones, which me, I'm like, okay, I feel like this is like a half shade too dark. And then also, if you wanted to highlight your face, that use, like, sometimes you get concealer just to conceal, but then you also may want to do like some highlighting. So it'd be nice to have a little bit fairer of a shade. So hopefully e.l.f. will start coming out with a little bit more of a wide range of shades for people, but overall I do really like this. I've repurchased it a billion times. Granted, the main reason why I've repurchased it a billion times is because it's affordable. It's like, I think it's $2.99 at Target, and I also get like 5% off. And you can also easily pick it up at Target or any other drugstore. So it's just really convenient and at a good price. Like, I really want to try the ColourPop ones, but if I tried, I have to spend $30 to get the free shipping, and like just to get the $6 concealer, like, it's not worth it. And this is more affordable anyway. So it's just been my go-to as far as stuff being budget friendly, and it works too. It's not even like it's a bad product. So I really love using it. I use this, I'm pretty sure I used this like the entire year. I don't even know if I had another concealer. I'm trying to think. I wonder, I actually don't even know. I think this is the concealer of the year. Like, literally, this might have been the only one that I used. So after I set my eyes, now I'm ready to put on eyeshadow. So next things we're going to talk about is eyeshadow. So when I mentioned 2 ColourPop eyeshadows, one I do not have because I used it up, or like it dried out before I could completely use it up. But it was the Super Shock shadow from ColourPop in Bites, and it was a matte white eyeshadow. And I loved putting that on the inner corner of my eye because it's a very thick, stark, in-your-face white eyeshadow because it's a cream. So whenever I put it on the inner corner, you could really see white, and it really made it stand out because it was my perfect dupe for MAC's Nylon. Maybe not a perfect dupe, but it gave me the same idea. Like, whenever I did have MAC Nylon, I loved putting it on the inner corner. I think Amanda Ensing did that one day, and I loved how bold the white was on her inner corner, because sometimes if you use like a regular white eyeshadow, it just kind of fades, like you barely can even tell it's there. So that's what I really love about ColourPop cream eyeshadows, is that the colors are very bold, and, you know, I really appreciate that, especially when I'm trying to do the inner corner of my eye. So I did really like Bites. I'm mad that it was discontinued, but I'm hoping that, you know, they come out with another matte white eyeshadow in the future, just because I think, you know, and when I say matte white eyeshadow, I mean in a Super Shock shadow form. I hope that they do that, and if they haven't already, and matte white, like no glitter, no nothing. And hopefully it's better formulated, because I know some people say like all their ColourPop shadows dry out, but I think that was more of like the earlier releases. I definitely know the first ColourPop order I put in, and I think Bites might have been like one of the earlier releases, and that's probably why it's been discontinued by now. Those did dry out faster for me, but a lot of the ones that I had for like a year or two, and they're still creamy, they're still doing well. Some better than others. Sometimes it just kind of depends on the formula and the shade that you get. But overall, generally speaking, with the exception of my first ColourPop order whenever they first came out, all of my Super Shock shadows have done a really great job of lasting. And so yeah, so hopefully they come out with a better formulated matte white Super Shock shadow, because I love that for the inner corner. Now, what I've been using, and that is out still, is ColourPop Tassel. So this is pretty much the glittery version of the matte white eyeshadow. So what is this, an ultra metallic? No, it's just a regular metallic, and so it's just a white eyeshadow. So that is what I have on the inner corners of my eyes today, and what I've been wearing ever since like Bites ran out. I think maybe once I got Tassel, I kind of like took turns, but then eventually Bites, you know, it dried up too much that I couldn't use it. So then I just kept using Tassel, and for the rest of the year, for pretty much, I want to say at least 80% of my makeup looks, I put Tassel on the inner corner of my eye, just because I just love a bold white inner corner, and that's just kind of like a trend in general that I liked for the year, is putting a bold white eyeshadow on the inner corner of the eye. And I love, like I said, I love ColourPop Super Shock shadows for that reason, because they are very stark and bold. You're not gonna put the shadow on your eye and they're gonna fade away. I don't think I've ever had a problem with a ColourPop shadow, like placing it on and it fading away. I've only used the Super Shock shadows and the cream eyeshadows. So I think that's why. I definitely think with powder eyeshadows, you run the risk of like getting a shade that, an eyeshadow that's formulated where like you swipe it on and then it just like disappears, and it's like, you have to take forever for it to build up, or it won't even build up. So that's why I love Super Shock shadows, because it's really important for me. Like the eye makeup is like the most fun part of me doing my makeup, so I want to be able to see it. And then just generally speaking too, ColourPop Super Shock shadows were a favorite in 2017 for sure. I don't know if you guys know, but like if you've watched all my videos, you should know. But I like lived in Pittsburgh, so I've never owned a car in my life. So whenever I was going to work, I would hop on a bus, I would be on a train, or in a lift if I missed my train, and I would be doing my makeup in those places. So I was always doing my makeup on the go, and I would not have been able to do that, or it would definitely have been a lot more annoying if it wasn't for my Super Shock shadows, because you can just grab maybe 2, 3 Super Shock shadows, throw them in your purse. They're small, they're easy, you can grab them and go. You don't have to worry about a palette, because a palette is bigger, a palette it's going to be messier to work with. Plus with Super Shock shadows, they're creamy, so I use my fingers to apply them, and so it made it really easy to do my makeup on the go and to touch up my makeup, because even if I did all of my makeup before I left, they're easy to throw in case like throughout the day maybe some of it fades or you want to touch it up, especially like the inner corner of your eye, you know, if you're rubbing your eye and it comes off. So I really love Super Shock shadows for that reason. And even days like if I wanted to do like a full look, I would even throw a ColourPop blush in, a ColourPop highlighter in, because they're the Super Shock formula, which is like the creamy formula. So I really love ColourPop products for on the go, and really recommend them. Now the next two are actually eyeshadow palettes, not eyeshadow singles. So the first one is the e.l.f. Matte for Matte palette. I feel like this appeared in pretty much every single favorites video of the year, especially the past couple of months. Like I've been obsessed with this eyeshadow palette, and this is in Nude Mood. For a while I just said the e.l.f. Matte for Matte palette, but there's a ton of e.l.f. Matte for Matte palettes, but this is just I think the original one, and it's called Nude Mood, and I really love it, especially this side. This side I do for very natural looks, and then if I kind of want to bump it up a little bit, I put like one of the darker browns on the outer corner. I really touch these grays, but I definitely want to try to work with them more to get more into cool toned looks. But this is just a great eyeshadow palette for day to day. If you're starting out learning how to do makeup, this is a great palette. You know, not only is it a great set of shades, but it's also a more affordable product. It comes with a mirror. You know, it's very sleek. And I think it's just a great palette. And I definitely want to try more of the e.l.f. Matte for Matte palettes and just e.l.f. eyeshadow palettes in general. I don't think that they're the highest quality powders, but they do work really well. So it's not like I said before, like where you put it on and then the color completely disappears. Like you see the color, it works. I'm not blown away by it, but I like it. But I just always gravitate towards this palette all the time. Whenever I'm doing like a natural look, I gravitate towards it. Whenever I'm doing a more bold look, sometimes I will use like a more bold eyeshadow on my lid, and then I will complement it with the shadows that are in here, and by putting these eyeshadows in the crease, on the lower lash line, on the brow bone or something. And that's what's great about this too, is like this palette has a lot of great crease shades and some good lid shades as well, depending on how you're doing the look. And this is a really good brow bone shade and an inner corner shade too, if you're trying to do something a little bit more natural. So I would really recommend this eyeshadow palette from e.l.f. And if you're especially if you're going to start out with a matte for matte palette, I would recommend doing this one. Then the other eyeshadow palette that I loved in 2017 is the My Cool 88 eyeshadow palette from My Makeup brush set. And this palette was sent to me for free, so this is something, I think this is like the only thing I didn't purchase that I'm going to be talking about. I think everything else I purchased myself. But this was sent to me to show in a video, and I showed in a video a long time, but I've used this so much. I know in the spring especially I really loved this eyeshadow palette in the spring, because I created 2 makeup tutorials, and I wanted to do a purple one too, but I created a pink makeup look and like an aqua teal kind of makeup look using like, you know, the shades from over here and then over here, and I wanted to do a purple one, so maybe I will do a purple one this upcoming spring, and maybe try like a more like bluish one, I don't know. But I know, especially in the spring, like this was my favorite palette. But even throughout different parts of the year, I've tried, you know, all different types of looks, whether they're natural or more bold. I know one cool tone look that I really liked that I keep doing, and I will, it's like more of like, I have ColourPop Liberty on the lid, and I put like this shade in the crease on the lower lash line, and then the ColourPop dupe for that would be ColourPop Girl Crush, which I really liked to put too. But that was like my overall favorite, like kind of like cool tone makeup look. I was like, for the most part, I think I do warm, but I don't know, I've just gone to this palette to create so many different looks. I don't typically use this palette alone. Like there's so many colors in here, so you think it's funny that you wouldn't be able to create one look. I'm sure you can, but for me, I love it as more of a complementary eyeshadow palette where I go in with a bold ColourPop eyeshadow. And when I say bold, I mean like it's very in your face. So I'll use like an ultra metallic, like Liberty, or you can even use something. Liberty is like a big one. That's like my cool tone look. But or Koosh, I love putting Koosh on the lid. All of like the ultra metallic-y ColourPop shadows I put on my lid. And then I'll go to this palette and then, you know, work around that. So, and I'll just put, these shades are pretty much I keep for like the crease or the lower lash line. You can do a more natural look if you stick to the side. But whenever I'm doing more natural looks, I usually go for the e.l.f. Matte for Matte palette. And I go to this palette to complement my more fun, bold, full coverage type of look. So I really, really like this palette, and I definitely will, I have a feeling I'll be using it a lot in 2018 too. And the quality of the eyeshadows is not that good. Some are better than others. Some are more like really bold. Some are do fade away. There are a couple in there that kind of fade away. So you kind of have to mess around and see which shades work for you, but I still end up finding a lot of good shades to work with. I don't really run into any trouble. I think the only time I run into trouble is if I try to create a whole full makeup, eye makeup look from this palette. Like I said, it's better if you wanted to do natural, you can just go to this palette, but I like it more for like complementing other eyeshadows. So, but I've reached for it a lot. It is a little bit bulky. Sorry, it's kind of big, so it's not something I would travel with. It has a mirror, which is nice. But yeah, so I just think that if you, especially if you're a vegan, if you're vegan with your makeup, if you're cruelty-free with your makeup, and you're looking for like a big palette to pull a bunch of different shades from, this is a good one. And then I'm thinking about even looking into other ones too, because this was the cool toned one, but I'm interested to see what the warm one is like. All right, so the next product that I typically go in with is eyeliner, and by far my favorite eyeliner of the entire year is the Wet n Wild Mega Liner Liquid Eyeliner. Out of all the vegan and cruelty-free eyeliners that I have tried, this by far is the best one. I think I've tried 2 from Wet n Wild and 2 from e.l.f. I don't think I've tried anything else from a cruelty-free brand that's vegan that's liquid eyeliner. I did try like an e.l.f. cream eyeliner, but out of all the eyeliners, this is definitely by far my favorite as far as the quality of the actual product and also the quality of the brush. It just makes putting on your eyeliner so much easier because you kind of just need to do one swipe, and then the tip of the brush is really good to get that wing, and I just don't run into any trouble with this. Other than the fact that it's just a liquid eyeliner. I know liquid eyeliners can be a pain in the butt, especially if you're new to makeup, but it works so well, and it's so easy, and it's affordable. It's from Wet n Wild. I think that's what I really, really love about it. So I highly recommend, if you are new to liquid eyeliner, like to go to this because it's really friendly, like, you know, really user friendly. And then even if you're not new to it, get it because it will make your life easier anyway. Even if you're like a pro using liquid eyeliner, this is good quality and it makes it easy to use. So either way, like, I really recommend that you guys check out Wet n Wild Mega Liner Liquid Eyeliner, and this one is in black, but I think they have other colors too. All right, now we're gonna move on to the face. So what I do is I do the all over face spray, you know, do the concealer, put on the eyeshadow and put on the liner, and then I start working on my face. That's typically the order I go. If I'm doing a really natural look, sometimes I just do the face first and then I'll get into all the eye stuff, but that's just what I do. So the first thing that I wanna talk about as far as the face goes is the face primer, and I rave about these face primers all the time, but they are the e.l.f. face primers. This one is the mineral infused and this one is the poreless. Both are great, kind of just depends on your preference. So I usually gear towards more to the mineralized, but I really do like the poreless one too. The poreless one smells a little weird, but it doesn't smell weird once you fully blend it in. It's kind of like when you first pump it out. And this one doesn't have any smell, but it's a little bit more slick. I do have an Instagram review, you know, where I go over, you know, comparing these two primers and the differences and the pros and the cons. So make sure you guys go and check it out. It's one of my more recent posts. You can easily scroll down to see it. But you'll see these two together and the Christmas tree in the background. So hopefully, you guys can easily scroll to see that, to see the comparison. I've kind of talked about it in different videos, but both are really great primers, and I highly recommend e.l.f. face primers, and I definitely want to try the ones that I haven't tried yet in 2018. All right, next we're going to talk about a foundation, and this by far is my favorite foundation of the year, and that is the e.l.f. HD Lifting Concealer, and that is the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation, and this is in porcelain. It's so funny because I just used the last of this up. It's hard to tell because the foundation is kind of, a little bit of it stuck to the side, so I'm like, at a certain point I was like, is this going to be the last use? Is this going to be the last use? And today, this was the last use. I may be able to squeeze some of it out, but I was like squeezing so hard, it was like hurting my fingers. So I was able to get enough out to do my makeup look today, but I am officially done with this, and I can throw it in my empties bag so I can do another empties video for you guys. But yeah, so this foundation was really good. I want to say that it was like, because it's not super matte, it's not super dewy, it's like kind of like right in between. It's kind of like a mousse, but it is thick. Like if you use like a dewy foundation, it'll roll right down. And with a matte foundation, I'm pretty sure it would just like stick. And this one sticks, but it's still like kind of moussey, and like it's just really good at covering up what you need to cover up. And then also, because I do have like a little redness here, so it really does a good job of covering up. It gives you more full coverage without feeling like it's full coverage. So I would say it's medium to full coverage, but it doesn't feel cakey, doesn't feel heavy on your face. I think it looks really good. I have no idea if it combats acne. I've been having really bad acne lately, and I don't think it's helped. I didn't have acne before, so it was harder to tell. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with my skin. It's probably my laundry detergent, but I'm so lazy about changing it. But anyway, because it's not mine. But I'll figure out my acne problem. And part of the problem too is maybe this has gotten old. Like I am someone who probably should stop using makeup before, and because like there's certain time frames where you're supposed to use makeup and you're supposed to stop using makeup, and I keep using it until like it's clear that you can't. Like a certain blush that I have, like I'm not touching that. It's definitely old. But I really like this, and I'm definitely going to be repurchasing this foundation. I'm really sad that that's the last of it, but I will be getting another one soon because I do have an Ulta gift card. Oh, guys, I will be doing a what I got for Christmas video. It really doesn't have much makeup in it because like what I received, none of it is makeup. I have one fashion product, and then the makeup that I'm going to get is through my Ulta gift card. I think I have a $50 Ulta gift card. So in that video, what I got for Christmas, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to pick up. And the reason why I haven't put it in the order yet or received anything is because I'm waiting for the Ardell magnetic lashes to come out, and they're coming out at some point in January, and they're going to come out at Ulta. So I don't want to put an order in, and I don't want to like spend the money until I can get the lashes. So it's really important that I get those magnetic lashes. So I don't know how long I'm going to wait to do the video. Maybe by the time I actually get around to filming what I got for Christmas, I'll have gotten the order. I don't know, but that it is coming. I will be talking about that with you guys, and I've kind of shown you sneak peeks on Snapchat. So if you want to see more sneak peeks on Snapchat, let me know down in the comments, and then make sure to follow. Okay, so now we're going to talk about my favorite blush, and this is just a holy grail blush of mine. I'm not really a big blush fan, but there's just something about this blush that is just so amazing. It's definitely a YouTube cult favorite. Everyone always talks about it, and it definitely is probably one of the blushes that keeps ending up in people's yearly favorites year after year, and that is, let me try to open it. It's the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. It's just amazing. There's just something about this that I think is really good for year round, because especially like in summer, it looks like your cheeks have been kissed by the sun, and in the winter it looks like your cheeks have been kissed by the frost and the cold. And it's just really nice. It does have like a little glitter in it, but I really don't, whenever you put it on your cheeks, I don't really see like glitter. I just kind of think it makes your skin look really luminous, and it's dark enough that I think it's a little bit more versatile of a color. I'm not saying every skin tone can wear it, but you know, if you have lighter skin tone, you can pull it off and just maybe go with a light hand. Maybe if you have a darker skin tone, you pile on a little bit more. But I really, really like the shade, and I've been saying for the longest time, but I do want to try more baked blushes from Milani, as long as they're vegan too. I'm not sure if all of them are vegan or just certain shades are vegan, but I really recommend checking out this blush. Alright, so next we're going to talk about brow products. The one product that I don't have that I used for majority of the year until I dyed my hair was the ColourPop Brow Pencil in Blondie. That ended up being the perfect eyeshadow or perfect brow pencil for me whenever I had all blonde hair. And for a certain point, my hair kept kind of getting blonder and blonder and blonder. At one point, I'm like, my brows are way too dark in comparison to my hair. Because at a certain point it was working, and then it slowly got worse and worse and worse. So then I tried out ColourPop Blondie, and it was perfect. And sometimes with blonde brow pencils, I had a hard time because it'd be too light, or like it'd just be like kind of like a funky color. But the ColourPop Blondie is a really nice color. It's not weird looking. It's cool tone, which I love most about it. It's a cool tone brow pencil. So if you have all blonde hair, I recommend getting that. Because I, you know, got like my darker roots in, that's when I switched over to a taupe shade. I did try ColourPop brow pencil in Dope Taupe, but I felt like it was a little too warm. It had a little bit of a red tint to it that I just really didn't like, especially in person. It wasn't as bad, but whenever I was taking photographs of myself, in certain lighting, like the red really popped out, and I was just like not about it. So, you know, I still have that and I still need to use that up. I may just use it on like the wings or something just to kind of like use it, but the one that I have been loving ever since I got my hair done, which I got my hair done in August. Yeah, I think I got my hair done in August. So ever since August, I've been using this brow pencil. I did buy it prior to that, but it was a little dark. I didn't mind the formulation, but it was a little dark, but then I got my hair done and now it's perfect. So that is the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil in Taupe, and that's what I'm wearing today. It is a great shade. It's cool tone. It's not too warm. There's no red to it. It is just perfect for the color of hair that I have now. There's only 3 shades in this line. I really wish that they would come out with more for other people. You know, at the time when my hair was all blonde, I really wish that they had a lighter shade than this, but I really do like it. It works well. The brush is fine. The formula of the brow product is fine. It's not too creamy. It's not too waxy. You don't have to press really hard to get it on your eyebrows. I know there's some brow pencils before that I've tried where I'm literally like scrubbing it on my eye and I feel like I'm like hurting myself trying to get the product on, and then there's been products like where it's just so creamy that it's just like gonna go everywhere. So this is a perfect balance, and I think it's only like $2 or something at Target, and you get your 5% off. So it's like really, if you have the Target card, so it is really nice. And I do recommend, I guess in a way, a favorite of mine could be the Target credit card, because you get 5% off of everything, and that does save on your makeup. So that's just like a little tip. That and Ebates. Ebates is not a scam. It's legitimate. I recommend that too. I'll have that link down below for you guys. Now, as far as brow gels, I'm going to talk about 2. So kind of like more of the first half of the year, I use the e.l.f. brow, it's like a brow and mascara gel. I didn't really use the mascara side, but I used the brow side, and that's pretty much what I used like the first half, majority of the year was that. And occasionally I would go in with the Anastasia clear brow gel. I've been savoring this, but I really like the e.l.f. one. It's really affordable. I think it's only like $2. It works really well. I don't think it's as good as the Anastasia clear brow gel, but it works. So occasionally I would use this. So this is something that I've kind of, because it's so expensive, I think it's like $18 for the Anastasia clear brow gel. So this is something that I would kind of have on a special occasion. And then once I used up my e.l.f. clear brow gel, I just completely switched over to this. And then for the rest of the year, I think since September, I've been just only using this, and I really like it a lot. This is a product, the Anastasia clear brow gel, I have repurchased at least 3 times, and I definitely want to repurchase it down the road. It's definitely a brow gel that I don't want to use on a daily basis just because it's so expensive to repurchase. So it's something that I would probably, what my strategy is I probably want to get another e.l.f. clear brow gel, and I'll just use that on a more regular basis, and then maybe 2 times a week I'll use this, or once a week or something I'll use this just to continue to use it up and enjoy it, but without having it going through it so fast. I'm like, oh, because like the Anastasia brow wiz, I really like the Anastasia brow wiz, but it's so expensive. And I know at one point, like I bought like 5 in a row within, I don't know, like it was like a brow pencil per month, and it was just like ridiculous. So I think with products that you go through really quickly, it's good to have a drugstore version of it too, so that way you can use the drugstore version more often and then incorporate on occasion the more expensive options. That way you're not going through it so quickly. So I really, you know, I gave you a good e.l.f. brow pencil option. I gave you, you know, the brow wiz I think is a good option. I don't really want to mention it because I really don't think I used it that much this year. And then the Anastasia clear brow gel is a great, more high-end option, but if you want to get a more affordable option, the e.l.f. clear brow gel / mascara gel duo, that is another good alternative that is budget friendly. Next products we're going to talk about are highlighters, and I absolutely love these highlighters, but unfortunately you guys can no longer get them. I'm so sick of all this limited edition and discontinued crap. It's so annoying, but it is what I loved and what I've been using all year round. And the first thing is the ColourPop highlighter in Fanny Pack. I don't want to say I use this like, this is a favorite and a holy grail highlighter of mine. I do think that there were periods of time where I didn't want to wear it at all because it was limited edition, but I know first month, like January, I definitely probably use this quite a bit just because I just got it. And then lately with like the holidays and stuff, I've been really into this particular highlighter because it's a white highlighter and my skin's definitely lighter, you know, in the winter, and it's just so pretty because it's a straight white highlighter from ColourPop. Yeah, so it's called Fanny Pack. This came out in the holiday 2016 ColourPop collection. I really think that they need to bring it back. I really like it a lot, and I really like ColourPop blush or highlighters because, once again, they're really easy on the go. I just use my finger and then I like tap it on and then I rub it in with my finger. I've also used my pinky finger to get it on the brow bone, to get on the inner corner of the eye, depending on the day. So it's really travel friendly. So I love that. And what I love about it too is that and this is what I did today, is I use that as the first layer, and then I top, because this is a cream, and then I top it off with a powder, which is the Anastasia Illuminator in Starlight. I think that's such a fun way to mix and match highlighters, is by using the first one you put on a cream and then the next one that you put on a powder. So that's kind of like a makeup favorite or beauty favorite of the year. It's just that doing that combination of doing a cream then a powder. And Anastasia, the Illuminator in Starlight, this is a straight white too. So they match really well together. This is a straight white that's a cream, and this is a straight white that is a powder. And I'm really mad that someone mentioned to me on Instagram that it was discontinued. I was like, what? So then I went on their website and they still have the illuminators. I think they had like the two darker shades that were left, but I think it's kind of like one of those things that they're trying to get rid of. This product, they're like discontinuing, and just like whoever can get what's left can get what's left. But this one is already sold out and like you can't get it anymore. So I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, this is like, should have been a staple item for them that's year round. And you know, they're always coming out with glow kits, but I like single highlighters because the thing about glow kits is they're gonna last you forever, and you can't always use all of the shades. And I don't know, I get more excited for single products. And they're also easier to photograph. So like if you're a YouTuber or if you're an Instagrammer, like I have like these little papers from Michaels that are like the perfect square. So that is the sizing for Instagram posts. That's 612 by 612. So all I have to do is fill in that square with my makeup products. But if I have an eyeshadow palette, a contouring palette, a big highlighter palette, and I'm like, I can't fit it into the square, and that makes it a lot more difficult for me to photograph because I have to rearrange my room and try to find some sort of way to get all of the products to fit into one photo. So that's why I'm really into singles and stuff, because it makes it easy for me to take those types of photos. So just as an influencer, I like that. And then just like, I also don't like having to commit to all of the shades. Maybe I get the palette for 1 or 2 shades, and maybe the other shades are nice, but I don't use them as often. So I don't want to have to make that extra commitment. So I'm more okay with eyeshadow palettes. I think out of all the palettes, like that's the one that I'm okay with. But I think every other one is just like not, because they're face palettes, and not everyone has the same exact skin tone. And when they put those palettes together, sometimes they put it together to try to make sure it can fit every single person. But then, yeah, maybe every single person has a shade in there that they can use, but I would rather get a palette where every single shade really works for me. You know, like, I don't know. That's just kind of like my thing. But I really love these 2 highlighters. I would recommend that you get them, but you can't get them anymore. But definitely, I would say if you have a really light skin tone like me, or even lighter, white highlighters are your best friend. And I definitely think white highlighters were my favorite in 2017. I'm not really into the golden highlighters, but I think white highlighters just look really good with my pale skin tone. Next, we're going to talk about lashes, which this one, it's kind of funny that I'm mentioning it because it was kind of like my love-hate relationship of 2017, but it definitely stood out, and it is the Ardell Glamour lashes and then the Duo Lash Glue in dark tone. So I love lashes. I'm wearing them today, and I use the Duo Lash Glue to put them on. But all year round, I really like the Glamour lashes. I did try out the Demi lashes and Demi Wispies. I did like those too. But Glamour lashes are definitely the ones that I repurchased, and then I've still been continuing to use. I think I've gotten like 2 of these packs, and even tried a single pack before too. But I really do like the Glamour lashes. I think they, like when I watch my videos and I'm editing my videos, I'm like, oh my gosh, those lashes look so good on camera. They work really well. They're a lot of fun. And I've found that they are user friendly. I know some people who really liked Ardell lashes, and then they ended up buying more expensive lashes down the road, like Pure Lashes or House of Lashes or all those like high-end brands. They ended up liking those better. So for me, I haven't tried those lashes, so I don't know what's better out there, but for me, these work great. So I would say that if you are someone who is new to lashes, the Ardell lashes are a great place to start. And then if you want to get those more high-end expensive lashes, down the road, that's when you do that. But this is a great way to practice and to use lashes that are good. Like, you don't want to use lashes that are glue that's really hard to work with, because that's not going to help you learn. But at the same time, I wouldn't go and buy a $20 pair of lashes. So I think that these are a great way to go. And just in general, I like the Duo lash glue because it's not super sticky. I like that it doesn't come in a wand, because I think the ones with the wands get too sticky, and you can just squeeze it out. And I like that it's in dark tone because it blends in really well with your liquid eyeliner. If you use white, if you use clear, that you're going to have to go over with a liquid eyeliner just to touch up. Sometimes I do that anyway with this, depending on how hard of a time I had with putting on my lashes. But today, lucky for me, it ended up being a really easy day for me to put on lashes. But at one point I was really hating on putting on lashes, and I realized it wasn't the lashes that were the problem, it was the glue that I was using. I was using maybe it was the Ardell. I think Ardell, I think it was them. There was some clear lash glue that I was able to pick up at the drugstore, and it had a wand, and like whenever you pull the wand out, all the webbing of the glue was coming out, and I think it was really irritating my eyes and making it really difficult to put on the lashes. So I think that's why I hated it. But once I started using the Duo lash glue, then I liked it. It's still a pain in the butt to me. I almost didn't put on my lashes today because I was lazy. But also I think the more you do it, the better you get at it, the quicker that you're able to do it. So today ended up, lucky for me, being a really easy day. And I'm really into lashes. It has been, though, in 2017, the love-hate relationship of mine. But I really like them. So if I was going to put on lashes, these are the two products that I would go for. All right, now we're going to talk about lipsticks, and this will be no shock to you guys if you have been following me for a while, but they are ColourPop liquid lipsticks. Two are ultra matte, and I think one is a satin. And just in general, I really love ColourPop liquid lipsticks. I love their ultra mattes. I love their ultra satins. I even like their lip glosses, although I'm not a big fan of lip glosses, so I'm not going to talk about them today. But mainly, I really love their ultra mattes and ultra satins. Ultra satins I like because they're a little bit more comfortable, and they have a little bit more of a shine to them, so it's almost kind of like a lipstick lip gloss combo. They're not super glossy, but like, you know, they have a little something nice about them. And then the ultra mattes I like because they do not transfer at all. I know some people don't like dry lips and it irritates them to have dry lips, but I actually think I prefer the ultra mattes over the ultra satins, just because the ultra satins are more comfortable and look nicer, but once you like eat anything or you like, they transfer, and I think above anything, the number one thing that I look for in a lipstick product, other than it being good quality, like if it looks like crap, then obviously you're not going to wear it, but like I really like it to not be transferable. I'll give those things a chance, but for me, that's my goal, is for it to not be transferable, because I'm someone who's constantly eating, constantly drinking. If I accidentally like hit my hand on my lip, I don't want all this like lipstick to come off, because then I have to stop and then go wipe it off. Or like whenever I'm using like a regular lipstick and then I go to take a bite of a sandwich, then I have like all this lipstick on my sandwich, and that irritates me way more than the fact that my lips are dry, especially because I'm someone who's kind of go. Like I'm busy. Like I don't even notice that my lips are dry or feel dry, because I'm just so zoned out and so into whatever I'm doing. So like that's not really that doesn't bother me. But when I'm so busy and I'm so doing my own, I have to like stop even for like 2 seconds to wipe lipstick that got off somewhere. That's what really annoys me. So it just kind of depends on your preference. But if you're not really into the ultra mattes because it's just too drying, then a lot of people do recommend the ultra satins, and I do recommend the ultra satins too. So I have two, I think it's matte. Yeah, so the two mattes that I have are Midi and then Naughty. This Naughty is from the Holiday 2016 collection. I'm not sure if you can get it in the permanent collection, because some of the lipsticks that were in that holiday collection, they did come out with in just like the permanent packaging, just like this. So definitely check to see. I know Embellish, that one I like. It wasn't a 2017 favorite of mine. That one is available in the regular tube. But Midi, I think, is just a classic. I'm pretty sure it's still on there. Everyone loves Midi. It's like a really nice nude, but it has a little pink to it, which I like. Usually with nudes, I go for the ones that have a little bit more pink in them. And I really like this. And this is actually from their original release, I believe. I think it's of the first 25. And I'm still using it. It's still working well for me. I don't find this to be too drying either. Like I felt like some of the earlier ones were the more drying of the bunch. I definitely think the ultra mattes that have been coming out later have been reformulated and are a little bit better and less drying. But I still love this. It's still a go-to of mine. I think it's a great day-to-day lipstick shade, and I highly, highly recommend that you guys get it if it's still available. Now, Naughty is kind of like the nude lipstick where I stepped out of my comfort zone with, because it's not as pinky. I guess there's a little pinky to it, but there's a little bit more. I don't even know what to say to it, but because there's some nudes that are very like pale, like make you look dead, and then there's some nudes that have like that pinky tone, but this doesn't. It's kind of like in between, I guess. I'm not sure how there's a word that I'm like looking for to describe it, but it's a little bit more unique of a shade, and I really, really like it a lot. Maybe I should do some swatches. I didn't swatch anything, but I'll swatch these because I can't explain. So this is what midi looks like. I'm not really a swatch person. I don't know if you guys know that. I really don't like swatching. If you want to see a channel where they're really good at swatching, Wildfire Liz, love you Liz, she is so good at swatching. I swear, like every video she's swatching something. Like she's so good at swatches. So if you really appreciate that, go check out her channel. I'm just so lazy, I swear. And then here it is. I guess maybe like orangey, like creamsicle is coming to my mind. So peach, maybe peach, that's the word. So that's what this nude is like, and I really, really like that a lot. So and this one I don't know if I necessarily would wear day to day, but with a little bit bolder of a look. Midi, I feel like I can wear with anything. Like it could be the boldest bold, or it could be super natural. I don't know if I would wear naughty with a very natural look, but like a semi-natural to a full glam look, I would use it. And then the last one I want to talk about is the Ultra Satin, which is Alyssa. And I really, really like this one a lot, and that is what I'm wearing today. And with it, and my lips are really they were dry before I even put this lipstick on, just because it's the winter time. And it does feel dry on my lips, even though it is one of the satins. But I feel like any lipstick that I put on right now is just going to be really dry and annoying, just because my lips were really dry before I put on any lipstick. So, but that is what Alyssa looks like. But I just love the ColourPop. I just love ColourPop in general. I guess we can say ColourPop. ColourPop and e.l.f. Cosmetics were my favorite brands of the year. e.l.f., I just have so much from both brands. I've tried a lot. I've liked a lot. And a lot of the products from the brands there's definitely a couple products from each brand that are holy grail products of mine, or just generally speaking, I like from them. Like I generally like the e.l.f. primers from e.l.f. I generally speaking like Super Shock products from ColourPop, and they're just go-tos of mine. So I really recommend those brands to you guys because they're really fantastic. And then ColourPop too, another good benefit of them is that they are really good with color selection. They're always coming out with a lot of different colors and shades and stuff. They discontinued stuff a lot. There's limited edition stuff that's annoying, but they are really good at coming out with a lot of shades. So I really appreciate that about them. Okay, so this is a good time to talk about this product, because I'm going to use actually the product in the video so that way you guys can see. But it is the e.l.f. Makeup Remover Cleansing Cloth. So whenever I'm taking off my makeup, whether it's on my face or on my arm, I go in with these wipes because they're very hydrating. You know, out of all the products that I've tried, they're the best to get the makeup off, and to get the makeup off without irritating my skin and not me sitting there scrubbing like crazy and like really irritating my skin. So I'm just going to show you how I take off these ColourPop liquid lipsticks. I think they're partially dry. The satin one's still drying, but we're just going to take them off. Which the ColourPop ones, as you can see, like they are long lasting. Like it's like harder to get off. The satin one came off a little quicker because it wasn't completely dry yet. But yeah, so this is what I use to get off my my makeup. I use this to get off my liquid lipstick when it's on my lips too. It doesn't really irritate me. I don't know if you're technically supposed to do that, but whatever. So I'm just, these ColourPop liquid lipsticks are staining really bad, but I'm getting it off for the most part. So, the liquid lipsticks stick around quite a bit, but this is really great for getting off my eye makeup. I really like it a lot. And there's a couple products in here that I was like looking at all my, because like it took me a while to film this video because I was like, I really want to go through all of my videos and see what I said each month, because I don't know, like look at my collection and base what I say on here based off what I've thought of or seen used recently. I really want to like, what the heck did I use in January and stuff? I swear this came up in like every single favorites video. Maybe it missed one, but it should have been in every single, if I missed it in one, it should have been in it, because I've repurchased this at least 10 times, maybe more. Like a lot of times too, when I order this, I order like a couple. I'll get 3 at a time. Like I'll make sure I have one in my main makeup drawer, and I'll have like 3 stored elsewhere in like a storage cabinet or of some sort. So I really, really recommend getting these if you wear makeup. This is like a great first step to get all of your makeup off, and then you can start going in with like cleansers and whatever else you need. Now the next products I'm going to talk about with you guys are brushes. I'm going to try to get through this quickly because this video is getting really long. My battery's getting low. But these are a mixture of brushes from Estée Lauder Glam Beauty, Sigma, and I think there's one brush from e.l.f. So I'm just gonna like kind of grab stuff. So this one, oh, this is my favorite, definitely out of all my brushes, my favorite brush of the entire year, and I don't know what I would do without it. And that is the Sigma Blending E25 brush. This is the only brush that I use on the outer corner of my eye. I did use it today to put on ColourPop Roulette on the outer corner of my eye. And it just works so well. To do the outer corner, it does a really good job of blending. To set it, to blend it, I can do 2 in 1. Before, I sometimes would use 2 brushes. Like I would use a certain brush to like place the eyeshadow, and then I would use a separate brush to blend. But this is like 2 things in 1. And this is one of the brushes that the next time I put in a Sigma order, I'm definitely going to get another one of, maybe even 2 more, just because I use this one so often that I really need backups. So out of all the Sigma brushes, I highly, highly recommend getting this one. We'll just start off with Sigma, I guess, now that I've done that. Another Sigma brush, and just generally speaking, I really like stippling brushes, but my favorite stippling brush from Sigma is the Small Duo Fiber F55 brush. It is just like the perfect amount of flimsy to blush out your blush. That's usually what I use it for, is to blend out my blush. So I would recommend getting that one, and just making sure to have a stippling brush in general. Like Wet n Wild has one, SLM's Glam Beauty has one, but I don't know, there's just something about this one that I really, really like. Some of theirs are a little bit, you can get it really big or really small. Like e.l.f. has a really small one, but this one's kind of like right in between. Like it's not as big, it's not as small, and it's just perfect to blend out your blush. Another brush that I really like is the Shader Lid E56 brush from Sigma. Now I never use this to shade my lid. I don't know. I don't think I have big eyes either, like, so I don't even know why this is a shade brush, because I feel like it takes way too long to put on a shade. It's too small to be a shade brush, but what I love it for is doing the inner corner of my eye and to do the brow bone. Today I used it for the inner corner of my eye to place tassel, and this is one of my go-to brushes for that. Another brush that I like, and some of these brushes are a little bit more unique brushes that I own, but it is the Sigma Blending E36 brush, and it's a really tiny fluffy brush. So what I love to do is use this on the inner corner to blend out any eyeshadow that I place on the inner corner, to place and blend out any product that I put on my brow bone. It just works really, really great for doing that. And even I've also done it where I place maybe an eyeshadow on my lower lash line, and then I go in with this blending brush to blend the bottom part. So it's really great to blend out the areas that are hard to reach on your eye. So your brow bone, you know, you don't want it to be too big, because you don't want it to overlap too much with like your crease and your lid shade, and your, you know, you don't want it to go too far down. So you really want to be careful, especially if you have like smaller eyes. So you know, it really gets into the hard to reach. Obviously the inner corner is a little bit hard to reach, and then the underneath. So I just really like this brush for that. Oh my gosh, my throat is getting so sore. Another brush that I really love is the Sigma Eyeliner E11 brush. I don't know what I would do without this brush, because it is the perfect brush to place on cream eyeliner, because it's very, very tiny and does have a point. So it really makes it easy to create a line and then also create a wing. So I would highly recommend getting that one. And then, yeah, my last Sigma brush is the Sigma Smudge E21 brush. So it is the perfect brush and the go-to brush of mine to use whenever I want to smudge my makeup. So typically I would do that on the lower lash line, where I put like some black on the right underneath the waterline on this bottom part, and then I just go in and like, you can place it and then you can also smudge it. So I just feather it down and go back and forth, and I love this. My battery's dying. Okay, I'm just gonna have to stop here, and then we'll go into other brushes. So you guys won't be able to tell, but right and back, so if the lighting looks different, that's why. I have one brush from e.l.f. Cosmetics. There are other brushes that I like, but I just didn't get a lot of use out of them in 2017. But the one that I did get a lot of use out of that I like is the e.l.f. I think it's not labeled. I think this is the blending brush. And I really like this to get on the deep crease. I have another brush that I like a little bit better for the deep crease, which I'll talk about in a second. But this is a more affordable one that I really like to get on the deep crease, but also just in the crease in general, for day-to-day looks and just any looks in general. I really, really like this brush, and it's really affordable, and I definitely want to get a backup of this one as well. Now, the one that I really like, and then we're just going to start getting into SLM's Glam Beauty brushes, is the SLM's Glam Beauty Fluffy Crease Brush. Now, this one in particular is the M06. I think the other one is like the W18 or W10 or something. That's the like white brush book or the pink brush book. So a lot of her brushes, she does different versions of them as far as like the handle and coloring goes, depending on what collection they come out in, whatever. But this is the Fluffy Crease Brush, and it's similar to the e.l.f. one, but the e.l.f. one's a little bit bigger and a little bit fluffier, and this one's, the SLM's Glam one, is a little bit flatter because it isn't as fluffy, but both are fluffy. And I like going with this in just like the regular crease, like the deep crease and the blown out crease. But if I do the deep crease with the e.l.f. one, I want to make sure that it is a lighter makeup look. So if I'm doing a really dark makeup look especially, I definitely need the fluffy crease brush from SL Miss Glam Beauty because it is a little bit thinner. It's not as fluffy, so it's not going to get as messy. So if I want to put like a black or a really dark brown in the deep crease, this is the color, the brush that I want to use. Now if I'm doing like a medium brown in the deep crease because I'm doing a lighter of a look, then this one is perfectly fine because whenever you go darker, you need more precision, and this one gives you a little bit more precision. This one is just a little bit fluffier, easier to work with. So this is definitely my favorite eye brush of all time from SL Miss Glam Beauty. I think it's my favorite brush from SL Miss Glam Beauty, period. Because like the Sigma E25, I think this one is like an essential brush of mine. The Sigma E25 is essential for my outer corner, but this one is essential for my deep crease. I feel like with other brushes, I can work with there are a ton of blown out crease brushes that I like, which I'm going to mention too next, but I can work with a lot of brushes for my blown out crease shade or for my lid shade. A lot of times I use my fingers, but to get those certain things like the deep crease in the outer corner, that is where I really gravitate towards certain brushes and really like certain brushes and appreciate them so much more because they're a little bit harder of a technique to work with or requires a lot more attention than your lid or your blown out crease. So I really appreciate the SL Miss Glam Beauty fluffy crease brush. It's fluffy, but it's not too fluffy, and it's perfect to get on a deep crease. So I really recommend getting this brush. You have to get a whole entire brush book or a brush set in order to get this. I'm hoping down the road SL Miss Glam Beauty will come out with singles. We shall see. But if you do try out something from SL Miss Glam Beauty, make sure to get one that has this in the collection, and this one in particular is from the Macaroon collection. You can get it in the brush books, at least the white and the pink brush books, but I love, love, love this brush. Now, as far as fluffy brushes go, I have two that I want to recommend to you. One is a little bit smaller, one's a little bit bigger, but the one was actually in the Ipsy bag, and it's like a lavender one, so it's the L34 Blend Beauty Brush, and I really love this for a blown out crease shade, especially if the blown out crease shade is on the lighter, more natural side. It may be a little bit big if you have small eyes, if you're going to do a darker blown out crease color. I don't typically do that anyway. But it's a really nice fluffy crease brush. It does a really good job of blending. Like, I have no problems with it. I know some people even use this as like a highlight brush, but I just typically use it in the crease of the eye just to do a blown out look. But it is a little bit big. If you have big eyes, this is perfect. This is like what you need. But even if you have smaller eyes, you can still work with it great if you're going to do more natural looks. Now, another one that I like is the SL Miss Glam Fluffy Deluxe W22 brush. So this is a great crease brush, but it's a little bit more dense and smaller. So if you have smaller eyes or you don't want your crease color to get more out of control, you want a little bit more precision, this is a great brush to have. And it's I really like going to this brush because I can really get in the crease, do the blown out crease color, really blend without things getting messy, and it works a little bit better for my small eyes. But at the same time, the fluffiness of this L34 is amazing. So it kind of just depends. So like this one is a little bit bigger, a little fluffier. This is a little smaller, but a little bit denser. So it kind of just depends on what you're doing, what type of product you're using, that you need to blend. Like this dense one, I really like for the ColourPop Super Top Shadows. If you don't feel like using your fingers, if you're not a fan of using your fingers, or you're going to use a darker color, the darker the color, the less likely that I'm going to use my fingers. So if you want to use some of the darker, I think I use this, yeah, I used this today to put on a really dark brown in my blown out crease, and I really like it because it's so dense. Like the L34 is great for powders. I wouldn't recommend it for creams, but because this is so dense, the Fluffy Deluxe W22 is great for that because it's dense enough to be able to work with a cream product where you're not going to like torture the brush. The brush is dense enough to handle the cream, the thickness of it. So yeah, I really recommend those brushes. Some brushes kind of just depends on what are you using it for. Another brush that I really like, and I think is one of the most versatile brushes that there is out there, and yet I don't use it what it's actually meant for, and that's like the one way I don't use it. And it is the SL Miss Glam Beauty Lip Brush, and this in particular is the P29 from the Pink Brush Book. I didn't get the Pink Brush Book, but she sent me some extra brushes within my orders, and this was one of them that I got. And this one, I don't ever use a lip brush, guys. I hate using lip brushes because typically when you use a lip brush, it's because you're using a brush, or you're using like a lipstick that's like potted. I hate pan lip shades. Oh, I hate that so much. It has to be in a tube for me. Like I just can't. It's just not my thing at all. Especially because I like really ultra matte lipsticks. I can't imagine there'd be a lip palette that'd be matte enough. Like, no. So I never use this for my lips. It's a lip brush, but what I love lip brushes especially for is to get on the inner corner of the eye because they are so small. So I love the Sigma one, but that's a little bit bigger. So I have to be a little bit more careful with that one, but I still love using it. But if you have really small eyes, you want like a really precise inner corner. Like the Sigma one I like for if I'm going to do a more dramatic, more bold inner corner because it spaces it out a little bit more. But if you're just trying to get on that really tight on the inner corner, this is perfect because it's smaller, it's flat, and it's a thin. So it makes it really easy to get on that inner corner, and I absolutely love that. This is like a go-to brush of mine for the inner corner, and so is the Sigma one, just depending on the day. I really like this one a lot, and not only do I use this for the inner corner, I also use it for the brow bone, and lately I've been using it for my brows. So I've had this ColourPop Brow Color, it's like the potted one, for over a year, and I finally opened it and started using it, and I love it. And the funny thing is, it's dope taupe, and I was telling you guys earlier in the video, the pencil version just seems a little bit too warm and reddish, unless they sent me some sort of dud, I don't know. But the pot one is more cool toned and is perfect. It kind of is like the dupe for the e.l.f. taupe brow pencil, but it just in the pot form, so it's perfect. But I didn't have there was like a brush I typically would use for putting on the brow gel, but I couldn't find it, or maybe I don't have it anymore. So I was like, well, this is small, so I use this, and it's great to put on because it's flat enough and small enough that you could like place it on. But because it's a lip brush, it has that, you know, taperedness, and it's like really pointy. So like, you know, if you're doing your lips, you kind of go around your lips and stuff to make it really easy and precise. So that is perfect to get on like the wing of the brow, like right here. You just turn it sideways and just slide it. So I really like this. This is definitely one of my holy grail brushes from SL Miss Glam Beauty in general. Again, another one that is kind of more of a unique brush for me anyway, and very versatile because I can use it in so many different ways, even the way that I don't ever end up using it for. But I really recommend it. Again, you can get this in multiple brush sets, so if you get a brush set, I recommend trying to get this. She did have one like this that you could buy individually, and it was like from her original brushes that she released prior to the Glam books, prior to the fairy tale sets, but I don't know if she's selling it anymore. So I feel like the last time I checked her site, I didn't see it there. But if you do get a set, try to make sure to get this in your set too. Another brush of mine that I have so many of from different collections, from extras that SL Miss Glam sent to me whenever I put in orders, is the SL Miss Glam tapered highlight brush, and this one in particular is the P04. So it's just a tapered fluffy brush, which is perfect to get right underneath the eyes. That's like my favorite way to use it, but you can also use it as a highlighting brush. I've even used it as a blush brush. It's not typically what I want to use it for. My main reasons are to set my under eye concealer and to place as a highlight. Because of the taperness, you can put like the highlighter right at the tapered point and then, you know, place it and then really blend it out because it is fluffy. So I love this. I'm so glad I have it. Like, I think I have maybe 4 to 6 of these just from all the collections and the backups, and I'm so happy for that because it's a great brush. Now the last brush that we're going to talk about is the SL Miss Glam Fan Highlight, and this one in particular is the P30. This has been in a couple of sets as well, and it's a really giant fluffy brush. I think it's so funny because some people are intimidated. I was intimidated when I first saw it because it's so ginormous. And even Ms. Liz Hart, for her it's a little bit too big, so she, in her collection, she made a version of this brush but just a little bit smaller. So if you've tried this brush and you think it's just a little bit too big, Ms. Liz Hart has one that's a little bit smaller. This is intimidating to you. But I love how big it is. It's just like, it's so fluffy. It's like a pillow hitting your face. Like, I don't know. It's just, and the reason why I was a little intimidated is like, oh my gosh, when I put it in the product and put it on my face, there's just going to be way too much product. It's going to be too thick of a line. But it really isn't, because it helps place it. But because it's kind of like if you go down the center, that's where the product's going to be, and then the rest of the fluff on the outer part is what's going to kind of help you to blend everything. Like, I don't know. I find it really easy to use, and this is what I use today. So whenever I put on the ColourPop cream highlighter, I use like my middle finger to place it and then blend that out. And then I set it with the Anastasia Illuminator in Starlight with this brush. So then I just placed it on here. And what I do is I kind of slide it, and you can kind of pat it, kind of do whatever you want to do. But I really love SLMS Glam Beauty brushes. I really love Sigma brushes, and there are some good ones out there from e.l.f. and even from WETNWILD. But WETNWILD, they're good, but none of them really stood out to me. I gotta stop this again so this can charge. Okay, I'm back again. I keep like charging my battery a little bit, you know, trying to film because I'm trying to get the video done. I don't want to wait an hour for it to fully recharge. So I'm gonna try to get through this quickly, but I want to talk about this brush holder from Sigma Beauty. I actually asked for the medium size. I kind of wish I would got the larger size, but this is their brush holder. And what I do is I usually have it on its stand like this, and then I fill in the brushes along here. And this is like, I'm so glad that I have this because this is a way for my brushes to dry upside down. Because before I was kind of trying to lean them, but they would never fully be like upside down. So this is a great way for them to be upside down because I don't know if you guys know, but your brushes need to dry upside down ideally. Some people do it at an angle, but you don't want the water to seep into the ferrule of the brush. I think that's what it's called, because then it could separate and then the brush top could be removed from the handle. So you want to make sure that it's drying upside down. And this has been so great. I mean, if you're someone who has a lot of brushes and you're someone who avoids washing your brushes like the plague, and you know, you want to wash a lot of brushes at one time, I recommend getting the larger size. I wish I had the larger size, but this still works great. And if you're someone who only has a couple brushes, then maybe get a smaller size. It just kind of depends on how many brushes you have. But at this point in my life, I have so many. But I do find it great because it's just a great way to have it be on a stand. So it makes washing brushes so much easier. Not that I don't still try to avoid it, but whenever I do, it's so easy just to fill these in. So this part is really good for the face brushes. I can't really fit any eye brushes into this part. You can fit eye brushes into this part, so kind of just use whatever side works for you. And then the bigger parts in these flaps, that's what I use for face, and then the small is what I use for eye. And then sometimes I can even put like multiple brushes in one of these like little pockets, if like, because certain brushes are really small, like they're so small they don't even fit, or you could fit a couple. It kind of just like depends on the brush that you have. Some are bulkier than others, and what's good too is like, if you have a brush that doesn't fit nicely into here, it may fit a little bit better into here because this material is a little bit more forgiving, where this is just solid. Like this is the space that you have, because I'm sure like there might be brushes out there that are not perfectly round. You know what I'm saying? Not perfectly flatly round. So it might work a little bit better in here, but I really like this a lot. And then to wash my brushes, I love using this mat. I know a lot of people talk about the Sigma glove, but the glove is attached to you. So if you're moving around and you're going to try to set your brush into the stand, then you have to take the mat off, or you have to be awkward about it, and then like the water could run down. Like I just don't like the idea of that. So whenever I saw that they had a mat, I was all about it. And of course I got raspberry pink. I think there might be multiple colors, but even if there's not, thank God this one is this color, because I really like raspberry pink. And it works so well, not only like just from the fact that it can sit in your sink and it has like these little things, suction cups, but there's different ridges and they tell you which side is for eyes, which side is for face. And they actually have directions on how to use this. That makes your life so much easier, and it does such a good job of washing my brushes. What I did was, I think I put like soap on the brush, directly on the brush. I put soap, like dish soap directly on the brush or like on my hand, and then swirled it on my hand and then just tried it out that way. But I swear like the soap would just stick completely into the brushes and they would never come out. It was like such a pain in the butt. But I feel like this not only does a good job washing the brushes, but it helps get the soap that's in it to clean it out quicker. And it just makes my life so much easier. So I'd highly recommend getting this. And another thing that I want to mention is by Allegory organizers. I really like them a lot. And my favorite ones are the liquid lipstick or lip gloss holders. They're called the lip gloss holders, but I use them for my liquid lipsticks or pretty much all of my ColourPop lippies. Actually, yeah, I don't even have enough of these. Like I need to get another one to hold all the other ColourPop liquid lipsticks that I have. Because I have the Ultra Mattes, the Ultra Satins, I have the glosses. Like I have so many. So these lip gloss organizers from By Allegory are amazing. I get them off of Amazon, and I get the clear ones. You can get different colored ones, but I really recommend for organizers to get clear if you can, because the products can show through. And usually with makeup products, they're really colorful and really pretty, and that really helps, you know, make your collection stand out, especially if it's going to be something that you sit on a table or on a vanity or on a shelf or something. That's the time that you really want to, that's like your display. So you want it to be colorful and not kind of like, and there's some that are clearish, but they're like pinkish clear. So it's like kind of shows through, but kind of doesn't. I don't like that. I just love it. And it's really sturdy too. I think when I ordered it, I expected it to be a little bit more less like thinner and like material, like it's gonna easily break, but this has yet to break at all. I don't see any chips anywhere, and it works really, really well. And they have a bunch of other organizers that I really like a lot. I'm not really using them right now because I don't have the same setup as I had before, but I would recommend checking out By Allegory out. They are on Amazon, so I'll link Amazon down below to get to By Allegory. All right, we're so close. Camera, just let me finish. We're gonna talk about nails real quick and then hair. So the nail products are all from Isla Cosmetics. I got these, I think all these products I got at least a year ago, if not longer. But I really like the cuticle oil from Isla Cosmetics. It smells really good. And it's a great way to help with your cuticles. Like pretty much what I do is I kind of like file my nails and use cuticle oil to make sure my nails look perfect. And then I go in with nail products. And this has been really helpful. And I've had it for a really long time. It's 2 ounces and it looks like I haven't even used it at all. Like I don't do my nails all the time. And there was a point where I was doing acrylic nails, but every time that I, you know, make my nails look better, especially if I'm about to put on nail polish, I always go in with this and it works really, really great. There may be cheaper options out there, but I don't know. I still recommend this one. I just haven't found any cheaper cruelty-free and vegan alternatives. So if you guys know of a really good cruelty-free and vegan cuticle alternative, let me know down in the comments. But I do really like this, and I just really like Isla Cosmetics in general, and I really like supporting the brand because I think the owner seems pretty cool based off what I've read so far. And she even sent me an extra nail polish one year, or because I think I ordered a yellow, and she realized I was from Pittsburgh, so she also sent me a black, so the black and gold, which I thought was really sweet. So I really love supporting Isla Cosmetics, and they actually made their nail polishes, I believe, a little bit more affordable because I think people were complaining about the price. They're still a little bit on the expensive side, but at least they cut back the price, so I think that's really cool of them. But the 2 products that every time I do my own nails, I always go in with these products, and it is the Isla Cosmetics Prime and then the Isla Cosmetics Better Than Gel. So I put this primer on prior to putting on like the colored nail polish, and I put this on after I'm done putting on the colored nail polish. And it really does help make my nails last longer. Not long enough for me to want to never get my nails done. Like I would much rather get my nails done. I can't afford to get my nails done right now. But if I can't get my nails done, these are a lifesaver, and they do last a really long time. I've had these for at least a year, and I'm maybe like a 10th in to both of them. Like, so it does last a long time. So they are expensive, but they last a long time. I definitely think it's worth it. It does make it last longer, and also like this gives it like a nice gloss too. But when it does start chipping, it's so funny because when I do this, I end up going in with about 4 layers of polish. This is layer 1, this is layer 4, and of the colored polish I go in with 2 layers. So whenever I'm in the shower and like like my nails have started to chip enough, with the warmth, I can actually just peel off the whole thing, and then there's no stain on my fingernail. So not saying you can just pull them all off really quickly, but I kind of like to pull. I don't know, it may be a bad habit of mine. I don't know if you guys do this, but like once your nails start to peel, like I start like pulling away. I don't know, but because the layers are so thick, sometimes it's actually easy to kind of just pull it off, and then you don't have to like especially if you wore like a black nail polish, that's more likely to stain if you use like a nail polish remover. In the end, it may be quicker to use a nail polish remover, but I do like the idea like, okay, I don't have to stain, and I don't know. It's just something that I've noticed. I figured I'd share with you guys. All right, and the last packs that I'm going to talk about that I've raved about so much are the Pacifica shampoos and conditioners. Right now, I am in the middle of using the kale ones. Actually, I just finished this kale conditioner, but I also love the coconut power, and I actually prefer the coconut power over this one, just scent-wise. But on Target, I was able to get the shampoo for $4.99, and then I just picked up the coconut power conditioner for $4.99. So like if you go on Target, they actually have them. It's like they're already on sale. But the thing is, they are not matched. So it's like you can get the shampoo, the kale shampoo for $4.99, but you can't get the conditioner for $4.99. You have to get it for full price. But you can get the coconut power conditioner for $4.99, but you can't get the coconut power shampoo for $4.99. So it's just like, but I don't really care about mixing the scents. But either way, these are really good products. I absolutely love Pacifica. I have yet to try a product that I don't like from them. And I definitely want to try more, both their hair care and their skin care. I'd love to try their makeup as well. However, I know that they're known for their hair care. I've heard a lot of good things about their skin care. So, oh, and I just picked up a face wash, so I'm really excited about that. And that was on sale on Target too. Like you can find certain ones that are like $3.99 and other ones that are more full price. It just kind of depends. So check out Target because there's a lot of good deals for Pacifica products on there. And then Ulta that you get the buy one get one 50% off. But some Target stuff, like, you don't have to buy one get one. You can just get it at like the 50% off mark. So check that out. But these are sulfate free, or at least the shampoos are marked sulfate free. And I just really recommend them. My hair game changed the second that I started using these products. My hair was super greasy, like, for the longest time. I even look at old videos and I'm like, oh my god, my hair looks disgusting. And now it looks so much better. I don't suffer from grease at all. And when I was suffering from grease and I started using this, the grease went away within days. So it's a miracle worker to me. I just really like these products. They smell really good. I really like the brand in general. I love that the brand's 100% vegan. And they're coming out with a lot of products in January and maybe into the new year. So I would definitely recommend checking out Pacifica, especially their hair care. And I'm really excited about their skincare too, and their makeup products. So I guess actually I would say Pacifica is also a brand favorite of the year. I would say, you know, as far as like makeup products, it would be e.l.f. Cosmetics and ColourPop. As far as hair care products, it is definitely going to be Pacifica. And I didn't really talk about skincare, although my only skincare at the moment is the makeup wipes. But whenever I do put it in my Ulta order, my goal is to at least get a couple more skincare products. So I don't really have a skincare brand favorite or even skincare favorite other than just the makeup wipes. But I'm going to try to get more into skincare in 2018. I just have to be really careful on how, like, I really got to figure out what I'm going to spend at Ulta. I'm really interested to see what I do there. But you guys will find out in what I got for Christmas. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Let me know down in the comments what your 2017 beauty favorites were. Now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button below. Click that little bell so that you're notified of when my videos have been posted. Like this video if you did like it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye! Alright, the next product I want to talk about with you guys is the Physicians Formula Killer Curves Mascara, which is available on physiciansformula.com. It is $10.95. There are two shades, so you can get black or you can get black/brown. The net weight is 0.28 ounces, and it's described as, you know, providing it's voluptuous, full volume, curling, lash lifting polymers.